Hello and welcome to the Willow Witch channel. I'm so excited to get to your reading today. We will be looking at what will the first meeting with your true love be like. And I absolutely love doing love readings, so I'm super excited. We're also going to be drawing some runes, which I believe is the first time I'll be using runes on this channel. So I'm very excited for that as well. We'll set these aside just for right now. So we'll start by drawing cards for a few piles. This will be the card that you will use to pick which pile you feel most drawn to intuitively. Of course, if you feel drawn to more than one pile, that is perfectly fine. You can certainly watch more than one pile and take messages from more than one pile. So we'll just kind of touch into that intuition here of what messages are going to feel true for you today. So we'll look at pile 1 here in a moment, getting that this is going to be pile 2. These cards are always a little, okay, here we need card 2 and card 3. These cards like to stick together a little bit. And I apologize, I have a little bit of seasonal allergies going on, so my throat is just a little bit froggy. I think this is going to be pile number 4. Yes, okay, beautiful. So let's go ahead and reveal your pile selections. So we have laughter. Love that. That's number 47. That'll be pile number 1. Catch your breath. Wow. Let's see if I can get that to focus for you guys here. There we go. Number 15, which adds up to 6, the number of love. Pile number 3 is adventure, a beautiful card. Number 30. Wow, already absolutely loving the energy that's coming through these piles. Wow. 37, ideal course of action. Some incredible symbolism in all of these cards here. Can't wait to talk about all of that in the piles. So we will draw some runes. If at any point you already know which pile you're feeling the most drawn to, feel free to go ahead and click on the timestamp either in the description box below or in the pinned comment, whichever is easier for you. But let's go ahead and see what we have here for runes. So we're going to draw 2 for each pile. Okay. So pile number 1, you have Manaz. Oh, sorry, this is Awaz. The M always throws me off a little bit, or what looks like an M. So this is actually Awaz, which is the rune of movement and steady progress. Also stands for a horse. So really interesting that we have horses here in this card as well. Definitely already getting quite a bit of synchronicity with these runes. So I'm going to place this rune here. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Just had somebody knocked on my door. But so the next rune that you have is the Sowelu rune, I believe is how it is best pronounced. And that is the rune of the sun. It's also the rune of victory, awareness, and energy. So again, definitely a lot of synchronicities with these runes and cards. So I will leave that rune there. Just going to straighten these out a little bit here for us. Okay. For pile number 2, you have the rune of Yera or Jera. And this rune is the rune of harvest, of reaping of rewards for past efforts, and of justice. Sometimes I've also seen it depicted as good karma or karma coming to fruition. And let's see here. We'll also place this one right up here. All right. And then your second rune here is Ansus, which is the rune of Odin. It's also known as the rune that symbolizes the mouth and communication and transmission of knowledge. Okay, so some people say the rune of knowledge or communication. And let's see, we'll place this rune here. Just don't want to block any of the images. Okay, and then for pile number 3, we have the rune of Perthu, I believe is how it's pronounced. And that is the rune of mystery, of the occult, so occult knowledge, randomness, coincidence, secrets uncovered. So really interesting rune here with the card of adventure. Kind of this like night, space, sky sort of image. Really interesting. And then your second rune here, excuse me. I'm just gonna drink a little bit of water really quick. Okay, sorry about that. My allergies are just getting the best of me right now. But this is the rune of Kanaz or Kanaz. I've heard it pronounced both ways. And it is the rune of fire, warmth, also of energy and power and positive attitude. So beautiful rune to come out here. Let's place that here. Okay, so that was for pile 3. And then for pile 4, your first rune here is Rido, which is actually the rune that symbolizes the wagon. Also travel, again, movement, similar to pile 1's rune, but it's more of, it can be like an introspective type of journey when it talks about movement with this rune as well, which is really interesting with this ideal course of action card. So again, we're definitely seeing some synchronicities. I think I will place this one down here. Just really don't want to block any of that beautiful symbology there. Might actually even place it right off her back here. That feels better. Okay, and then for your last, for the last rune here for pile 4, we have the rune of Manaz. So this is the rune of humankind, actually. And so it's interdependence, collective potential. Really interesting because I've actually heard other tarot readers on YouTube talk about how this can also be the rune of the self, I believe is how they've explained it. And that it's like the rune for joy, like turned in on itself. And so, yeah, it's like two, like double joy, like facing, facing itself. So an interesting interpretation. Yeah, so, well, if you guys have hung out and listened to all of these explanations, thank you. I hope that they were helpful. I know that there's a lot of people on here who aren't necessarily super familiar with the runes, and since this is my first time using them in a reading, I wanted to make sure that you had all the information here in order to make a well-informed decision on which pile you're feeling the most drawn to. So I will leave you here for about a minute or so in case you'd like a little more time to pick your pile. And let me adjust this focus because it looks like the camera's wanting to focus more on the runes than on the cards. There we go. Might make it a little easier. So take your time, and I will see you soon in your reading. Whenever you feel that you know which reading is yours, go ahead and click on your timestamp. If you'd like to watch the pile preparation, you're always more than welcome to. Just leave the camera rolling, leave your video rolling. I will go through the whole pile preparation for all 4 piles, and then we'll get into your readings. See you there. Okay, beautiful people, if you've decided to hang out with me for the pile preparation, welcome. I love this part, feeling into the energy and letting the cards kind of speak and come out as they wish and distribute into each pile. So yeah, one of my favorite parts of any reading is actually the shuffling and having the cards just like feel right and come out as they will. So we'll go ahead and get started. I am going to be using actually quite a few oracle cards for this particular reading, more than I normally do, but I was definitely feeling called to not only the really interesting imagery that's on oracle cards in particular, but also their kind of more fluidity and openness to being interpreted. We won't take these, but I will show them in case they're meaningful to anyone here. We're not going to be taking reversals in our reading today, but often when I do personal readings for myself, I use this particular oracle deck with reversals, so that's why you'll see a lot of them reversed. But wow, a lot of really cool cards. There's another number 37, so maybe that's a nod to somebody that there's a message in pile 5 for you. But we will just kind of distribute these cards back into the deck. Let's go ahead and reshuffle since that was a fair number of cards that came out. And then if we could just receive 1 or 2 cards for each pile, and if we could keep them face down, please, that would be wonderful. Thank you so much. We are talking about how we are meeting our true love. So for each pile, yeah, getting 2 for that one. How is each pile meeting their true love? What is that first meeting going to be like? Oh wow. I am going to go ahead and shuffle just because I try not to pull any cards out before we shuffle the deck at least once, but I appreciate that this deck is just eager to speak. Definitely feel that energy. This one, oh, nope, that one, and actually getting the top one for pile 1. Okay. This is a Healing with the Angels oracle deck. I've never seen it used in another tarot reading, and I actually found it at, I actually don't even exactly remember. It was either a garage sale or a thrift store. I remember it was really inexpensive, and it was just kind of hidden somewhere, but I saw it and I was kind of drawn to it, and I just got it and wasn't even really doing It was a long time ago. I wasn't even really doing like tarot readings or anything at that point, but for some reason I felt compelled to grab it, and every once in a while it speaks up and kind of wants to be used in a reading. So yeah, we'll see what messages it has for us today. So this is one of the 2 tarot decks that I'm using in our readings today, and this is the Wildwood Tarot. I'm only going to actually pull 1 card from this deck for each pile, is at least my intention. Oh, might be a nod for somebody here, getting that energy might be contributing to pile number 2, so that one did flip, so we'll put it back in. 7 of Vessels. The Morning card. Really interesting. Might be a message for someone here. A sign of confirmation. Maybe acknowledging that there is some mourning in your past or even in your present. And maybe you're here to get some positive messages for today. So feeling that the cards are acknowledging that energy of somebody watching the pile preparation is the message that's coming through. So if that's you, definitely a message of love and comfort and acknowledgement of being seen there. So yeah, and let me grab, okay. Wasn't expecting to want or need to grab so many, but we will go with it. Feeling actually just too... interesting. 3, let's get 1 more for pile 4. Yeah, okay, or for pile 3, I mean. Okay. That feels complete. So we will go ahead and get started. So I'm going to put each of these piles aside. Let me make a little space over here. Just make sure that these have enough balance. So that will be pile number 4. The 2 runes. Pile number 3. You won't be able to see. I might be able to put pile number 2 on the other side. Okay. Yeah, we'll give that a try. Feel free to comment if you're watching this portion on this process, and if you appreciate being able to kind of see all of the decks during the other readings, or if you'd prefer not to or kind of don't care. I'd love the feedback if you would like to give it. Okay, so let's get set up here for pile number 1. Okay, pile number 1. If you've just rejoined us, welcome back. We just did the pile preparation, so if you want to see that, feel free to go to that timestamp below. but otherwise we will go ahead and get started with your reading. So we are looking at today how you are meeting your true love, what your first meeting looks like, maybe a bit of what leads up to it, your first impressions of each other as well, which I'm so excited to get into. I love this laughter card. It has such a sparkly, bright energy. And the message that's coming through when I take a look here with these two adorable kids like giggling and just like gallivanting about on the back of these two magical fiery steeds. I'm getting a strong message that your inner children are gonna recognize each other and are gonna want to come out and play, even like upon that, innocent first meeting. I feel like the first time you guys are together in a room, or maybe you're gonna meet outside, we don't really know yet, right? But the first time you guys are in physical proximity to each other, where you can sense each other's energy on that physical plane, you're just gonna wanna like play. Your inner children are gonna come out and wanna play together, which is just such an adorable, beautiful message. I just absolutely love it. All right, let's take a look at what your cards are gonna tell us about your first meeting. And I'm not taking reversals in any of these decks, just as an FYI. So this is the Gatherer card, number 21. I may read from the guidebook about this card, so we can get some insight there. So this is seeking knowledge, wisdom, searching, and learning. Interesting. Are you guys going to meet in like a library or a university maybe, or some other place of learning, maybe like a course, or even an online way that you guys are both learning something new, certification class or something, maybe a class at your local rec center? We'll see. Okay. Unity. Oh wow, you guys. This is a beautiful card to come out in a love reading. Whenever I see this card, and even just particularly this number of 43, it makes me think of divine union, actually, because it's 4 and 3. So that's, of course, the number of the Emperor and the Empress. And so those two numbers coming together, especially reinforced by this message of unity here. And we even see like connectedness, harmony, equilibrium. Shows me that you guys, even upon your first meeting, you're going to feel this deep understanding of being able to like work well together. Like you guys just mesh. There's something within each of your souls that gets it, like really just lights up. I mean, with this Soelu, the sun rune being one of your runes, I feel like you get this like warmth. You get almost this like power from being near each other, and you want to like work together. Like these two birds looking at each other and wanting to like, I'm feeling like build a nest together. Yeah, it's beautiful. And these colors here remind me of the two higher chakras, the third eye chakra and the 7th chakra here. This beautiful color. It's definitely reminding me of those two chakras. So maybe those are chakras that getting almost that you are both working on and strengthening before you meet, before you come together. Beauty. Wow. Gorgeous. You guys have such good positive cards. Like there's like just such a sense of like pure like joy and happiness coming through your cards here. Okay. Oh my gosh. I mean, yeah, like the cards are literally just, they're so aligned. I feel like you guys will be so aligned when you meet each other. So this is the 3 of Cups card, the Three of Vessels in this deck, which literally says the keyword joy. And you've got, I think these are, I can't remember if they're cranes, storks, or maybe even herons. Not sure. But definitely birds that, this type of bird is in a lot of mythology, right? So usually seen as a spiritual symbol, even a signal from the gods, from the heavens, from, the spirits that are guiding us, from another plane. And so to see them come through in your first meeting reading here is really giving me that strong message that this is going to have such a destined feeling. Maybe you'll be seeing white or like white and black feathers before you meet, or you might even see one of these birds. And if anyone knows what type of bird this is exactly, feel free to put it in the comments below. I apologize, I don't remember exactly what they are, which is a little ironic because I do absolutely love birds, but I'm terrible at remembering the exact names of things. Okay, let's see what else we have in your tarot cards. Oh, the Seven of Pentacles. So this is something that you've been waiting, and I feel like you've been preparing for, in a way. You've maybe worked through maybe some past pains, or with this gatherer energy being kind of this like harvest energy, very similar to what we see in this Seven of Pentacles card that just came out. I feel like this is really going to be a time of harvest when you meet each other. You're going to be ready. You're going to be able to be open to each other's, to the beauty that you bring into each other's lives. And you're going to be ready to just revel in that joy, which is just gorgeous. I love that energy so much. Okay, so with the Three of Swords coming out right after that message, I'm feeling what the guides are telling you here is that you are being recognized when you meet your true love for the first time. It's because you've worked and you've healed any lasting pain, any previous pain from either even childhood wounding, past relationships that have, soured or, gone not the way you had hoped, right? And maybe for both of you, both you and your true love have perhaps gone through this pain and healed. And if this isn't resonating for you, this might just be a message that your true love has gone through this, has worked hard to heal from a past hurt, a past heartbreak, and they've gotten to the place where they're able to be open and able to really like open their heart chakra up and be open for love again, which is really, that's a incredible sign of maturity. Maybe they've even sought knowledge in order to achieve this healing. Maybe you have as well. Read about even like something like cord cutting, with past emotional, energy cords that maybe were still keeping your heart, weeping and sore, and you've learned how to heal. I love that she has mushrooms in her headdress in this card of seeking knowledge, because that makes me think of alternative and ancient ways of healing, right? With medicine from the earth, that can kind of open our mind to making connections in ways that our logical minds can't. So maybe you've gotten some insight from, some medicine like that, or, however else you've been able to get that insight and that healing. And you may find that resonates with your love as well when you guys meet and talk. Maybe not during this initial meeting, but maybe I feel like will resonate on this level of seeking out the knowledge to heal from a past hurt. Okay. Oh, wow. The Two of Cups. I mean, you guys have like, I don't even know what the other piles are going to get because you guys have like all the really good cards, which is interesting because I think I heard from a few different tarot readers or readers on YouTube that pile 1 is like the less chosen pile usually. It's chosen like the less frequently of any piles. So you lucky souls that chose this pile, you're very much, I feel like you're going to get one of probably the best readings today. So beautiful. I mean, the Two of Cups just speaks for itself. I love seeing these two. I particularly love this card because it reminds me a bit of the Strength card, the Sun card, and the Two of Cups card all together. I mean, we see this sun coming up in the background. The energy here feels incredibly like sunny and kind of like youthful and innocent. We also have this lion symbology with, I believe that's the caduceus, I think is how you say it, or something like that. It's like the medical healing symbol, which is really interesting here, right? So definitely like linking into kind of that healing energy that, you know, you guys have worked on before you've met, but I feel like you will also heal each other. Like, look at you sharing, you know, you're each offering your cup of love to the other to drink out of. And I feel like those are healing waters as well, that you're both, you know, stepping into each other's world and really finding kind of like what is like ambrosia, sweet nectar to the other, healing medicine, and offering it to each other here, you know, almost like without regard for the remaining healing that you have in your own self. You want to like heal the other person as badly as you want to be healed by this love that you share, which is truly like unconditional love. So I feel like it's really beautiful. And the Strength card energy here is just kind of reinforcing this message of having strength in this love. Like, you guys are going to have incredible endurance and resilience here within your love. I mean, we see that with this, the Awaz rune here is it's a steady progress rune. Also the rune of the horse and of movement. So I feel like there could potentially be the message here that you guys may need to physically move in order to be close to each other. So maybe that just means like you're across a city and it, you know, there's a lot of like traffic between you. So maybe after you guys have been dating for a while, you know, one of you actually physically moves across the city to be closer, or maybe you're separated by even more physical difference, however that looks. And also it may be that, you know, may even be a literal message that your first meeting has something to do with either with horses or with moving your body physically. So maybe you guys meet in like some sort of class that involves movement, like a class at a local gym or rec center, climbing class, or ice skating, I'm getting for some of you guys, or something that, you know, maybe swimming, something where you're moving you're physically moving your body. Maybe you're even like, I don't know, like literally walking around your local library or your university, right? And you like physically like bump into each other or something like that. Might be very like meet cute type of vibe there. But yeah, so let's see what your last card here tells us. Wow. So with this Death card showing up as kind of capping the reading for you today, I'm getting the message from this card, which is the only major arcana, that you, not only will you be transformed, you and your love will be transformed by this relationship and even by this first meeting. I feel like it's going to lay to rest any concerns. Like, this laughter and just beauty and joy energy. I mean, you guys are going to meet and it's going to like lay to rest any worries or concerns you had. Like you're going to feel this sense of peace and almost like a sense of being reborn into these beautiful new possibilities. I mean, look at the sun coming up in the background here. You know, through these double gates here, the sun is just peeking up, coming up over the horizon. These like waters of transformation are still running through, you know, beautiful and clear and pure, right? So you don't have anything to be concerned about with this message here. I feel like this is a message of healing, of flow. You know, you've got the sun symbolism a couple times here with your rune of Suelu and the sun in the death card here. And even that energy that was coming through this Two of Cups card too is that bright new dawn sensation of, you know, the night is behind you and it's a new day, a new morning, a new dawn. I feel like that's what you'll feel when you first meet your love, and you're just gonna have so much joy. Like I keep being drawn back to the energy in your laughter card here. And I mean, I don't think I pointed this out before, but 4 plus 7, so 47 on this laughter card, 4 plus 7 is the number, you know, it equals 11. It's the number of divine union, which we also had the message of unity here in this other oracle card. So yeah, I'm getting that there's yeah, I feel like, okay, so I'm being told to go ahead and grab this this book. So hang on, I'm gonna grab that really quick for you guys. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm gonna hold this book page up in case you'd like to read the entire entry. Feel free to take a screenshot. Let me just make sure it's focusing. I think that is pretty good. Okay, and then essentially what this card, the message is giving is that this gatherer is capable of finding abundance where the normal or typical person, ordinary person is how they say it in the book, sees only barren soil. So really, really interesting message. It also talks about scarcity and getting rid of kind of that notion of scarcity that may have limited your choices, and it even says colored your destiny. So really, really interesting message. And I feel like how it is relating to your meeting of your true love is that perhaps both of you, some of what you may have been healing from here with this 3 of Cups card, and maybe even seeking knowledge about, is that notion of scarcity, right? So thinking like, oh, all the, you know, good men are taken, all the good women are taken, or kind of having that like, oh, you know, the people I meet, I just never meet anybody who really vibes with me, who really like gets me and who I can see myself having a future with, you know, like just not seeing anyone around that you feel like you could start a relationship with. And so the message that's coming through here is that, you know, you've been doing essentially, and if this doesn't resonate for you, this might be your person. I'm also going to talk about an alternate message if this isn't resonating in just a moment, an alternate interpretation from this card. But for either you or your person or both, if you did feel that sense of scarcity, I feel like your seeking of knowledge about yourself, about love, has opened your mind enough to the beauty that is present around you, that you are able to actually see people in a different way that you didn't see before. And perhaps that's a bit of the meaning of this death rebirth card too, is that old mindset of scarcity, again, for you or your person or both, before you meet, has essentially died. And what was reborn in its place was seeing abundance everywhere, seeing the beauty in so many different people and different types of people that perhaps you didn't appreciate before when you were, younger, more naive, or hurt, or, whatever the reason, right? Maybe just how you were raised. And now you're able to see that incredible beauty that is there and is essentially available for the harvesting, right? For the gathering. And I am getting a message that if this feels like you're still in that area of scarcity, then this is where you're headed to, right? So you can be anywhere along this journey, and this message can still very much be for you. You were drawn to this pile for a reason. And so if you're feeling like you are still within this scarcity mindset, I'm very much getting a message that in order to have this meeting with your true love, or if you've met them, is a message that's coming through, whether you're with them or not at the present, perhaps working on that scarcity mindset and doing some healing and some knowledge seeking around that will open you up to this connection that's full of laughter and joy and beauty, and lead towards this really strong unity. You guys have so much potential. I mean, you're essentially gathering this abundance with both hands. Like, there's so much abundance in this connection that the message that's coming through is that it'll feed your souls for eternity, right? Like, it's just gonna keep giving and giving without end to that beauty and joy. So, okay, well, that's absolutely beautiful. Oh, sorry, I almost forgot to talk about the second message, so I'll do that here real quick. So the second message that was coming through while I was reading the interpretation of this Gatherer card is that if that scarcity mindset doesn't resonate, or this might just be an additional message for you, but that you and or your person are, you're the type of person that is able to essentially see gifts where other people might just see the absence of gifts, right? So you have this unique ability to look and really see somebody, see what they're good at, see what lights them up. You're able to find that chord of connection where you can get on kind of the same page and initiate kind of that feeling of empathy and kinship with somebody, and that you're even able to find a way to laugh even with people who other people might have a really hard time accepting or getting along with, and that's one of your incredible gifts. And so getting the message that this is something that not only will it help to initiate your meeting and bonding with your true love, but it's going to be something that they absolutely love about you, and that they just have never-ending admiration for your talents and your ability in this. So, and your guides just think you're like the coolest as well. So they're just like beaming like the sun about this energy of yours. So beautiful. Okay, that is all the messages that I have for you, Pile 1. Thank you so much for letting me do this gorgeous reading for you. I absolutely loved getting to sit with your energy and do this reading. So I'm so excited for you. I would love to hear about your first meeting and all of the things. So if you'd like to share, feel free to comment below. And yeah, definitely subscribe if you'd like to be notified of future readings. Like this video if you liked it, and I can't wait to see you again in a future reading. All right, bye-bye, Pile 1. All right, so we'll get set up for Pile 2. So I'm just going to take all of these cards off. Okay, so Pile 2. All right, if you are joining us for pile number 2, welcome to your reading. You chose this Catch Your Breath number 15 card, as well as you were drawn to the runes of Ansus, which is the rune of communication, of knowledge, knowledge transmission. And you're also drawn to the rune of Gerda or Yerda, which is harvest, justice, reaping of rewards for past efforts. All right, so we'll get started with your reading here. So we are looking at your first meeting with your true love, and I'm really being drawn to the the tree hugging literally going on here. I don't know if anyone's noticed that's watching this reading, but on my channel greeting page, I introduced myself as a tree hugger, so maybe some of you resonate with that. But I'm getting that, getting a few messages. So with the moths and one moth landing on the bark of this tree here, I'm actually being given this like camouflage sort of message. And so perhaps there might be a message here that you're almost going to, I'm almost getting like an image of like, all right, bear with me here. This is very specific, and if it doesn't resonate, we'll talk about some other ways that it can be interpreted. But the image that's coming through here is this image of like a big room, maybe it's like a ballroom or like a school dance or like that kind of vibe, and you are just either you or your love are kind of just like standing back, almost blending in with like the wall or the decorations, like not really wanting to be seen or chosen, or maybe you're just, you know, literally like catching your breath for a moment, and maybe you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed by all of the action and commotion going on around you. You know, maybe it's some other type of event, doesn't have to be a dance, right? But I feel like you're going to be like on the outskirts, and either you're going to bump into your, you know, your love, your true love there, or they're going to notice you, or vice versa, and seek you out. Yeah, so it might be like one of you or both of you have a very quiet, more introverted nature to you. Either that, or maybe you were just feeling that at the moment that you met. But that message is coming through there for somebody here. So let's see what else your cards have to say. So we have the Flow card. Really interesting. Number 20. So interesting. She has, trying to see what's on her forehead. We might also, for pile 1, we looked at the interpretation in the guidebook for this oracle card, which was really interesting. So we might do that as well. But definitely getting some watery energy, of course, here, kind of almost the energy of like the moon card. So maybe one or both of you have some water in your chart, Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio. You might really resonate with that type of energy. Look at the blue card here too. I love this blue bear card. Rewards, abundance, bounty, and sharing. Interesting. I don't know if any of you have actually been to Denver in Colorado in the US, but there's a big blue bear statue that's in like the middle of the city. I think it's at the convention center, and it's made to look like it's this giant bear that's colored blue, and it's peering into the windows of the convention center. And if people don't know about it when they go to like kind of be tourists around the city, it can really startle them. And I've heard from like an Uber driver or two that they really enjoy, surprising people by driving past and being like, oh, look at that blue bear. So maybe you guys are meeting in Denver. I don't know. Gosh, so much blue coming through. Family harmony, really interesting cards. And then you guys only got a few tarot cards, which was really interesting. So 7 of Bows clearance card. Interesting. Similar energy to like flow and harmony. The Wheel of Fortune. And wow, the King of Swords. So I was getting, with all of this blue, I was getting a very strong throat chakra sort of energy. So for as much as I was getting that energy of kind of, maybe you guys meeting at an event where it's almost like too busy, too much commotion, or it's some sort of party or gathering, maybe even a family gathering potentially. Or maybe in a big bustling city where you feel a little bit like overwhelmed or something like that. But I'm getting that when you guys meet, whatever the circumstance is, you're going to instantly feel this ability to just openly communicate with each other. I feel like you're going to talk about, you're really going to share like abundantly with each other. And it's almost going to feel a little uncanny, as if you guys knew each other previously. Like, I'm almost getting, if having a past life resonates with anybody, that, maybe you were family in a past life, right? Maybe you have this connection that you both recognize each other upon meeting. And I'm being drawn to this 35, 3 plus 5 equals the number 8, which when you turn it on its side, right, it looks like the infinity symbol. And so the guides that are here are drawing my attention to that. Like, you guys, you have this like connection that it goes way back, and you work so beautifully together. Like, you guys just like flow with each other. Your spirits just have this like gentle, like flowing, like harmonious relationship where, people might even, you might be one of those couples that, as you age, or maybe even right off the bat, but people might ask if you're like siblings. So I don't know if that's a message that somebody like doesn't want to hear, but if you don't, I apologize. Maybe it won't be true for you and your love in particular, but I'm getting for quite a few people here that you might have that type of connection with your true love where people almost mistake you for siblings sometimes. So, which is not a, I mean, that's really beautiful that you guys have that kind of connection. With this King of Swords card, I am getting that, somebody here, if someone is or is attracted to like the male identifying gender, then you might have a red beard, or the person that you fall in love with may have a red beard, is a message that's coming through. But that definitely might not resonate for everybody. Alternatively, maybe red hair for others. But if that doesn't resonate, just set it aside and we'll keep going. But just a message, a nod for somebody coming through. But yeah, with this King of Swords card, I am getting with a lot of this symbolism that you could be meeting outside. So if you're not meeting at, maybe it is like a big party outside even, or a big event outside, but it definitely could be like an open air, or maybe you guys like step out to get some air and you meet each other on like a balcony or a patio, or like out in the garden somewhere or something like that. Yeah, really interesting. So, but this King of Swords card, he's a great communicator, right? Like that's a lot of what is symbolized by this card, is somebody who's just really, really good at, really natural at communicating, great at like portraying his thoughts in a way that other people listen. Comes across as very like clear-headed, strong-minded, very intelligent. So I'm getting that these are qualities that, either both of you share, or maybe that you're attracted to, or that, your true love sees as very attractive in you. And then, so with this Wheel of Fortune, I mean, this card very much reinforces that feeling of like the wheel goes round and round for you guys. Like you meet each other again and again in different lifetimes, but it may also be meaning that, perhaps you guys have run into each other before. This may be the type of person who like you've seen around, you keep like being at similar events together, or maybe you even work at like the same company but not in the same smaller area, so you see each other at like big company like Christmas parties or something like that, but you don't necessarily usually make an effort to talk to each other. But I feel like the first time you do, it's gonna flow so well that you're just gonna, it's gonna like give you this insight where you almost get a little breathless when you're talking to them, and you start to realize like, wait, this, you get like hit with this bolt of knowledge where you're like, this could be the one. Like, I'm getting with this Harvest and Justice rune, that there's this feeling of, it's almost like if you have had issues in the past with having, like finding somebody that you could have really good flowing conversation with, where you had like this meeting of minds, where you felt like you could really share and show up as your authentic self, and that they respected you for that, that this is absolutely like the turning of that wheel. Like this person is going to give you all of those things and more. It's going to be complete justice for kind of what you haven't been able to find before. Like you're going to find it in this person, and it's going to be such a, like, it's going to feel like you just found this like treasure, right? And being drawn to this word of like bounty, where you're just like, wow, like it's like I was just kind of like hovering on the edge of this gathering, or whatever it was, like, and all of a sudden we just started talking, and then I just felt like all of a sudden all of the fruits of the entire world were like being offered to me. And you know, we get to like bond and share knowledge and just really admire each other, and feel like that sense of admiration is never going to go away. It's just going to continue to strengthen. And this clearance method, it's interesting that I said method, but this clearance message in this Seven of Bows, which is the Seven of Wands card, I feel like here, this is one, it's reinforcing that message of, you know, perhaps you've labored away previously at trying to make other relationships work. Like maybe you've gone on, you know, I'm getting like 6 dates with like different people, and you've, you know, tried to kind of almost shape it into like, you've tried to like have good conversation. You've tried to have that like connection on that, you know, level that you really want, whether it's that like intellectual or, you know, spiritual knowledge type of level, like whatever it is, right? But it just hasn't been there. Like it just hasn't turned out the way that you know it can, that you know it has that potential for you to find, right? And so I feel like meeting this person is just going to clear all of that away, like poof, just up in smoke. And you're going to find that exact, like perfectly shaped, like bow that it's like, it's as if I'm getting the like feeling of like you picking up this bow and stringing it, like knocking an arrow. And the first time you use it, it feels like an extension of yourself. And you shoot that arrow and it hits like straight in the middle of the bullseye, and you're just like, wow, this bow was like meant for me. It was made for me. Like we know each other already. And that's the feeling that I feel like you're gonna get with this person, your true love. So wow, okay, beautiful reading number 2. So pile number 2. I'm so happy that you joined me here. Oh, you know, I did say that I would read from this book. Let me go ahead and grab that and we'll read that. So if you're still here hanging out, then clearly there's something here in this message for you. So I'm gonna go ahead and hold this up for you guys. So if you do want to like take a little screenshot and read through that, feel free to. But yeah, so just reading through this really quick. Ah, yes, makes so much sense. So what this card is talking about is the natural movement of events in the world. Talks about like the tide, the ebb and flow of oceans and rivers, and it represents the effortless and natural movement towards a certain destination. So I feel like even during your first meeting with this person, it's going to feel just effortless and natural, and like as if you were always moving, you know, towards this meeting. And now that you've met, you're just going to flow effortlessly towards your really abundant, beautiful future and creating a family together, like a harmonious, beautiful family, you know, whether that's just the two of you or if you have children or grandchildren in the future. I feel like you're going to have this really beautiful, harmonious family because you guys just like get each other. And I feel like you both have the type of personality, especially when you're together, where you just really embrace that feeling of harmony. Yeah. So it even says here, it's like being within music, flowing within partnership. You're called to be like a river, knowing the fulfillment of destiny is assured. Enjoy the ride. Beautiful. So, okay, I feel like that is a perfect note to end our reading on here, pile number 2. So yes, enjoy the ride. Absolutely gorgeous. I really so enjoyed doing this reading for you guys today. So thank you for coming sharing your energy. I'm really excited for you for meeting your true love. This has such a like gorgeous, watery, beautiful feeling to it, which being a Pisces and Cancer, I absolutely love. So, all right, well, I will look forward to seeing you guys again in another reading, and definitely subscribe, like, comment. Really appreciate everyone who is supporting the channel and helping it to grow. So, all right, beautiful pile number 2, take care. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get set up for the next pile here. So just gonna take these cards away. And pile 2. All right. If you're just rejoining us, welcome back. Hello, pile 2. You chose this beautiful adventure card. I'm so excited to start your reading. I don't know, I look at this card and I really resonate with the overall like colors and feeling of it. I love that there's like a rainbowy sheen to this beautiful conch shell here and this mermaid over these islands, and then this like space kind of image. I'm almost getting that you or your true love, or maybe both of you, might really like fantasy novels or like science fiction, or maybe like sci-fi fantasy, a mix of both. Shout out to any like Mercedes Lackey, Anne McCaffrey, Ursula Le Guin fans here. Y'all are my people. But if that doesn't resonate with you, that's okay too. You might just like even like adventure type movies or stories. Or maybe you and your partner will do a lot of adventuring together, whether that's like traveling, maybe you'll meet while you're traveling. One or both of you might really be drawn to space. I'm getting that even somebody could be like someone who works like for NASA, or like in some way is involved with like our satellite systems, or like I don't know a whole lot about that realm, right? But like maybe something to do with working on like the space station or technology for that or something like that. So, and then I'm also being drawn to the number 30 here. So maybe you or your person or both of you are 30 when you meet is a message that might be coming through, or even I'm being given like 30 even as like the number of days, or maybe somebody's born on the 30th. I feel like the number 30 is significant in some way here too. You and or your person or your first meeting. So, all right, well, let's go ahead and get started and see what we have in your cards. Oh, wow. You guys have, so this, we'll definitely have to read from the guidebook for this one. The Beloved. I mean, amazing. So yeah, it's like, I can't even speak. I'm like, I'm so happy for you guys. Like okay. So this card is absolutely the card that if I were doing a, is this my true love type of reading before I met my partner that I'm with, who I absolutely love and am in love with. But back when I was single and slightly tormented, so getting a little bit personal here, I would do readings for myself and be like, is this person the one? Is that person the one? And this was the card that I wanted to have come out. So I feel like you guys are getting an absolute, like, it's going to feel like a fantasy adventure story, like an absolute wish come true type of first meeting. So maybe you are meeting in like some paradise somewhere where you're just like, this is incredible. Like how could it be more perfect, more idyllic, more ideal, the way that you guys meet. So amazing. I'm also getting that for some of you, for somebody here, that there could be some resonance with like the Buddha, maybe Buddhism. You guys might even meet at like, a place of like a Buddhist temple, some sort of like meditation or a retreat of some sort. So yeah, really interesting message there. Wow, togetherness, loyalty, fellowship, and bonding. And look at that beautiful, like really similar color between these cards. And look at all of these like creatures, like there's a little cat with a crown and a lion, a couple of cheetahs, even a peacock up in the trees here. Maybe you guys might have like a really similar love of animals, that you bond over, even like, maybe you're on like some sort of, I'm almost getting like so this is a really specific example, but it kind of has the vibe of like going on like a learning type of ecotourism trip to like Costa Rica. Or maybe you guys live in Costa Rica or, a similar country, and that you're able to go and learn about wildlife there and how they take care of their natural environment, and what a big deal ecotourism is to the country of Costa Rica, or wherever it is, and that you meet on this and have a really similar like philosophy about relating to the natural world and to animals, and you really bond over that shared love of these types of things, and your shared kind of like philosophy and way of relating to the natural world, and maybe even to other people, plants. Might be really fascinated in like plant life, maybe like even tropical plant life if that's where you're going. All right, let's see what else we have. Wow, awakening your true self. Again, so much of this beautiful red, orange kind of color. I'm getting with this color that there's a lot of sacral chakra, like awakening, and like you guys are just gonna feel this inescapable, like unexplainable pull to each other. That's almost feeling like this gut, like pull from your like navel, where you're like, you can't even explain it, but it's like you just feel this, like you're being like compelled towards each other. You want to be, close, you really feel the impulse to like touch each other's like arm, or rest your hand on their shoulder, or give them a hug. You really want to like have that skin to skin contact, even right off the bat at your first meeting. You just feel so like drawn to each other that you want to touch their skin, and vice versa. Like they're very, very drawn to you, your true love. And you feel this like aliveness when you're together, where you just feel like you really wake each other up in a way that's almost unable to be like put into words. And it's just this feeling of like inner fire that you share. Maybe even a bit of this like awakening of your like animalistic kind of nature is the vibe that I'm getting too. So really cool energy. All right, let's see what else we've got here. Oh, that's really interesting. So this card did flip in our pile preparation. So it's really interesting to see it come up. I don't remember which pile it was pertaining to. We shuffled it back in, but really interesting that it's come out, and it's actually your only tarot card from that deck as well. So let's see what else we have for your tarot. Wow, 6 of Cups. So 7 of Cups, 6 of Cups, and yeah, the Ace of Wands. I mean, the Ace of Wands is really reiterating that feeling that I was describing before of having that kind of like fire lit when you're around each other, feeling that passion, that drive, that spark of new creative like you all of a sudden feel like you have like all this energy when you meet each other, and maybe you almost feel like a kid again, like you're just like, wow, like I just, so okay, it's really interesting. Sorry, I'm going to abruptly change the subject here, but I was just really struck by the look of these bowls here in this 7 of Vessels card. They're really making me think of singing bowls, actually, of like the 7 chakra singing bowls. So again, I mean, you guys might be on some sort of like, maybe you went to a retreat center somewhere and that's where you're meeting each other for the first time. Or maybe you'll do this as one of your first, like maybe you'll talk about this, on like your first date, that this is something you would want to do, and maybe this will be something you'll do really early in your relationship, is go on a retreat together, or maybe you'll go to like there might be a service or a meditation like gathering somewhere that you go to together, that you start to attend together. One of you introduces to the other, or you both try it new with each other, where there are singing bowls that are played. And yeah, I feel like it's interesting because it's like I'm getting this energy of, even if you've maybe gone to the same exact ceremony before, or you've heard singing bowls before, the first time you go and you hear these while you're sitting beside this person who's your true love, you're going to hear them in a completely different way. Like you're literally going to feel the sounds of these singing bowls like travel through your entire energy body, like down your spine. You're going to get like those like tingles, and you're almost going to be felt like you're like transported to like this magical, beautiful, like different realm. Like your heart is just like blossoming open, and your third eye is awakened, and your sacral chakra is vibrant and healed, and your root chakra feels so grounded, and just all of your chakras are just like lit up and working together and flowing, and you just get this sense of like being ready to just face anything. Like you could do anything you wanted in that moment. You feel just this sense of like conquering the world, and just climbing every mountain, and still having like the energy to climb another mountain the very next day, right? Like, yeah. So with this 6 of Cups, it is possible, this card can sometimes talk about a reunion. So if this is something that you want, it could be talking about somebody coming back into your life that you've previously met, whether you've had a relationship with them before or not. And that, maybe you'll be seeing them and they'll be seeing you in a new way in this spark and newness will happen. You'll awaken to each other's true selves, essentially. But that's only a message for a few of you guys. So if you don't resonate with that, that's not something that you want, then go ahead and just leave that message aside. Yeah, so let's talk. Okay. So with this rune, I realize I haven't really mentioned the runes yet, so let's talk about them. So this Kanaz or Kanaz rune, it's all about warmth and energy and this positive attitude and power and fire. And with this vibrant, like orangey red color, I feel like you guys are going to get so much fire and warmth and power just from being in each other's presence. Like upon your first meeting, you're going to know that this is your true love, because you're going to get that incredible hit of like energy and feeling empowered and feeling just like pumped up, like so just full of passion and like this warmth when you're around them. So definitely a good sign to look for. And then let's talk about this rune. So Pertho. So this does talk about like some mystery, the occult, randomness, coincidence, and secrets being uncovered. So I feel like there is going to be an element of like mystery, adventure, with that like space kind of vibe. It could feel like, something that just was so like written in the stars almost. Like maybe you guys, meet somewhere that both of you don't even hardly know how you ended up there. Like, you weren't going to do anything this one weekend, and then, a friend calls you up and is like, oh my gosh, like my best friend just, that I was going to go with, that we had this, trip planned for forever. Like they bailed on me last minute, or they got, their, kid is like sick and they have to stay home and take care of them or something like that. And they're like, I know we don't know each other super well, but like, would you go with me? Like, would you just go on this trip with me, or go to this retreat with me, or this meditation center with me, or this, Buddhist class that I signed up for? Would you just go with me? I don't want to go alone. And I feel like it's going to be just so like out of the blue, something so random, or, maybe it's something that you sign up for last minute, or, you thought you signed up for one thing and then you actually signed up for the other, and you just decide to go anyways because you can't, change your reservation or something like that, right? Or you get put on a different flight and, just like all, like whatever it is, it's like something kind of random that seems almost like uncanny in a way, that it then leads you to meeting your true love. Like you're just like, what are the chances? And maybe they encounter that kind of energy too. Like I am getting with this skull, this like occult kind of like feeling. Like don't be afraid of that energy. It's talking about like kind of that like magical mystery, like mysterious unknown, it almost feels like it could be like witchcraft or something like that, like, which I very much love. Willow Witch here, so I view this as like a very positive occurrence, that it's like if you had cast a spell to meet your true love, it couldn't have gone better. So yeah, okay, well, I'm gonna leave it there, pile 3. So beautiful reading, really exciting energy. Oh gosh, I keep doing this with each pile. I do want to read from this book, the guidebook about the beloved, for you, because talk about, you can even get a better card for a true love reading. So you guys are definitely like a pretty blessed pile here, which, yeah, pile 3. So this is the guidebook for this card, so feel free to take a screenshot. But I am going to read the essence and the invitation for you. The essence. The beloved is the recognition of spirit in another and moving towards spirit through the other. It is when the divine appears to us in the form of our child, our partner, our friend, and we experience being in love. As we grow, we start to recognize the beloved in everyone, not confusing their personality with their divine nature. And the invitation is, accept the invitation to learn through the path of love. Expand your being through union with another. When you recognize the beloved in another, you call forth their highest and purest nature. Follow the path of love. Beautiful. So definitely through that, getting such a message that you guys are going to be able to see essentially like the beloved, the essence of spirit in one another, like divine spirit. Like you're going to meet, start talking, look into each other's eyes, and there's just going to be this incredible like vibe where you look at each other and you just see their divine essence and their divine nature, and they see that in you. And it's that moment that like brings this kind of like awakening. It almost feels like a kundalini, the words are escaping me. I think it's kundalini awakening. If anyone knows what I'm talking about, you can put it in a comment below. But yeah, I'm getting this kind of like kundalini feeling. I have this Kokopelli figure that I keep by my desk, especially when I do love readings. And yeah, I'm kind of getting this like Kokopelli sort of energy. Yeah, so okay, I think I'm gonna leave it there. So beautiful pile number 3. This is very exciting. I hope that this happens for you very soon if it hasn't already. Yeah, it does feel like it's kind of like brewing, right? Like it's like that fire is just burning right around the corner. So maybe in 30 days, maybe within the next 30 days, you guys are going to meet this person. So beautiful. All right. Well, best of luck to you, and I can't wait to read for you again. Definitely subscribe to my channel, like this video if you like it, and comment if you'd like to share, and come back again and see me soon. All right. See you again, pile 3. Bye-bye. All right, so we'll go ahead and clear these cards out and get prepared for our next pile. Hello, pile 4, and welcome to your reading today. So you chose this beautiful card, Ideal Course of Action, and we see here the number 37, which adds up to 10. So I feel like there might be significance for some of you in that number. Maybe you are 37, or your true love is 37. You could even be meeting in like the 3rd or 7th month. There could even be, a meeting in, I'm getting like the 10th month, so in October potentially for some of you, or maybe one of you is born in one of those months. Some sort of tie to those numbers, and with 10 being the number of the wheel, I'm getting that it's relating to like the wheel of the year. So yeah, if any of you follow like the pagan wheel calendar, there may be something relating there, but let's see what we get as we keep going into your reading and to look at the rest of your cards. So okay, so for your first oracle, oh, that's right, we have 2 oracle cards. Oh wow, so we have Jaguar here, 28, really interesting. So 2 plus 8 also adds up to 10, so definitely getting some number significance here. Also getting there could be maybe an age gap between you and your person, maybe even like 9-year age gap, is what I'm getting for some of you. The Hunter, 27. Wow, so it's almost like these 2 cards here with their really similar energy and imagery, 28, 27, I'm feeling like it's almost like a little bit of a countdown. So, yeah, and with the Hunter and the Jaguar, like pretty energies that definitely like go together, right? Like kind of are within the same realm, within the same, they almost look like they could be like 2 pictures from the same storybook, which is really interesting because this oracle deck, all of the cards are pretty unique from each other. So to see 2 come out that are have such similarities in their color schemes, yeah, and even in kind of like the theme, I'm getting that you guys are, well, okay, I'm getting a feeling, but I kind of want to see what else comes out. 44 rhythms, groundedness, nature, and earth. I mean, so this is very much like an angel number for me. So 44, 4 is the number of stability. 8 as a number always makes me think of infinity. It's a number of abundance. And with rhythms, yeah, I get that you guys, like, when you meet, you almost feel like you're on the same wavelength. Like you're just like, it just seems right to like, you just like blend your energy so well is kind of the message, the feeling that's coming through. Laughter. Beautiful. Oh, I love that. What a beautiful card. The mirror. Okay, yeah, there's definitely mirroring energy. That's exactly what I was feeling come through. So you guys are definitely mirroring each other. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Let's see what else we have. Queen of Cups. Beautiful. Wow. King of Fire. And oh my gosh. What a beautiful reading, you guys. Okay. So many messages coming through. So I feel like this is you and your person. So there definitely could be, maybe one of you has a lot of fire in their chart and the other has a lot of water in their chart. It also could be that one of you is definitely the more kind of like comfortable in their emotions, their kind of like watery, intuitive self. And then the other person is more comfortable in kind of that fiery, but also like more like grounded in the physical world, doing like really like acting and manifesting on the physical plane. And since there is mirroring here, you both might resonate with both of those energies, and have some of both of those, embody both of those things. So just gonna scoot these up a little bit, make sure that you can see all these cards okay. There we go. It's a little better. But yeah, so with this laughter card, I'm kind of getting that this is going to be one of your biggest clues when you first meet your true love, that they make you laugh. And it's like almost in a way that your souls just like get each other. And yeah, you almost like you get each other's like rhythm in how you both speak and the way that you think. You might find that you have similar shared experiences in your past, and even just similar ways of like viewing the world. And maybe you have kind of an odd or unique sense of humor is what I'm getting to, or maybe everyone else around you like doesn't quite get your jokes, but the two of you like really understand each other, and you just like really strike each other's funny bone in like a way that other people just don't quite get or quite understand. Yeah, and there might almost be, I'm getting kind of this feeling of like, in a way, when you meet this person, you're almost going to be like this, like giggling to yourself with this sense of like, wow, like I didn't realize it could be so easy. Like I didn't realize that like I could just meet somebody and just know that they were my person. Like you're almost going to be laughing with this sense of like disbelief almost, and just like incredulity at the ease in which you just seem to like fall into this partnership and relationship. Like it just happens in this really natural rhythm where it's almost like it's a song that you didn't even realize that your soul was singing, and all of a sudden it just like you already know all the words and all of the dance steps to it, just very instinctively and intuitively. Yeah, and so the mirror card in this deck, this would normally be the Hanged Man card. And so some of that energy is coming through here where it's this sense of like almost being like your world is like flipped on its head in a way where, one day you're single and you're like going about your business, and then the second day it's just the most natural thing in the world that you've now met this person and they're part of your world. Like it just, it just makes so much sense. It's like the ideal course of action. Like this card says, it's just like, well, yeah, of course we're meant to be together, and of course we're gonna like keep hanging out and get to know each other and get closer and start sharing our lives and growing this beautiful like castle on the hill surrounded by lights. Wish on a dandelion type of life together. With this it's a bearded dragon on top of this woman's head. It's kind of giving me that like lizard energy that you see depicted in the I believe it's in the Emperor card. A lot of times you'll see a lizard where it's showing like a divine guidance sort of feeling, and it's like a destined like spiritual being really tapped into your intuition and going the way that your spirit guides are directing you to go, and even your like higher self is very much saying like go. So you might see a lot of synchronicities. You might see like 10-10, 11-11, 44 is definitely coming through here as well. And just, with this High Priestess here, so this is the card that really means like intuition and being in touch with that sense of intuitive knowledge. And that even came through with your runes here as well. So excuse me. So this rune, the Rido rune, it can mean introspective journey. So like being really in touch with your own intuitive self. And then interestingly, where this kind of connects in, this Manaz rune, so this can tap into interdependence and collective potential, but it also, you know, can kind of mean this, like, it almost has like a mirroring sort of look to it, right? Because it's a mirror reflection. It's actually, if you look at just one side of the rune, it's the joy rune here, mirrored upon itself. And so this can definitely be interpreted as the joy that comes from being interdependent with another person, right? So like when you're truly interdependent, it's really healthy, and it's essentially the healthiest state of being for, you know, all animals, humans included, live, you know, they don't live in isolation, right? But also codependency on the other extreme is not healthy for us. So we need a healthy interdependence with each other where, you know, we're vulnerable and we're connected emotionally, we share resources, we're there for each other in our times of need, and it's a give and take, and you know, that helps. I mean, that's essentially like our best way of survival, right? And so I'm getting for some of you that there may be a lack of that before you meet this person, that maybe there's a sense of being out of touch with that sense of interdependence, you know, maybe some loneliness, some feelings of isolation. I'm also getting that some of you may have experienced that other extreme of codependence in relationships before, and that this relationship, because the two of you, you know, you and your true love, you go together so well. Like, it's just, there's so much ease and flow, and you know, easy laughter, and like your souls are like mirror reflections of each other in a lot of ways. You just share this natural like rhythm together that you're going to find your way to this really beautiful interdependence that will bring about a lot of joy. And you're going to move in that direction really naturally. And of course, there may be, you know, bumps and growing pains along the way, as there always are in life and in any relationship. But I feel like overall, this is a very flowing, very destined, meant to be type of relationship. So yeah, and then I'm being drawn again to this 28 and 27. So some of you may have an age gap, but I'm also getting that some of you may just be like either a year apart or even like a month apart. So that might resonate for some of you as well. Some of you could be 44. Yeah, really, really beautiful reading, guys. So I'd like to go ahead and, you know, you guys are the only pile that got two of these oracle cards from this particular deck. And with every other pile, I've been reading the entries for the cards. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that guidebook, and I'll show you guys the entries and then probably read just a little bit from each of these descriptions. Okay, so here is the entry for the hunter. If you want to take a screenshot and read that, definitely feel free to. And then for the jaguar, yeah, so both of these cards talk about being, you know, a master tracker, knowing which path to follow to find success. The jaguar being the protector of all life. and that she's also a master tracker. She can track her mark from a distance and not be seen or heard. She's the master of the shadows, and when it kind of goes beyond the essence in this book and goes into like the invitation, it's talking about relying on your skills to reach your destination, following the tracks left by spirit to claim your bounty, which is, it says, already prepared and being offered to you. Do not follow the maps drawn by others, as they will not lead you true. Instead, become the map maker, find your internal compass, and use all your senses, including your common sense. And then for the Jaguar, it says that go outside your normal routine, explore beyond the walls that confine you, push your limits and boundaries, and that she's actually delivering an invitation from your own future to investigate the unknown, to venture into the mystery and the dark places you've been reluctant to explore. Toss all caution to the wind and know that your Jaguar instinct will serve you well. So very much about following your instincts, maybe doing something out of the norm, but that you are, I feel like you're going to be given some really strong, almost essentially like tracks to follow to lead you towards meeting this person that you're destined to meet and to fall in love with. And so, like I said before, if you're seeing, numbers, like repeating numbers, or you keep seeing like the same number, or you look at the clock and it always just happens to be like a mirrored number or something like that, whatever it is that is kind of giving you that sense of something a little bit beyond the norm happening, follow your instinct with that. That's your, that is true. Like there are signs coming through to guide you in this. And then also if you feel like you're called to some place to, I feel like you're going to be meeting this person at, some place that you just feel called to, and you're getting like signs about going, and I almost get maybe you like are reluctant to go for some reason, but then you get really strong signs that you should go, and so you just decide to go, and that's where you happen to meet them. I mean, you're even getting like the feeling of like you just like go to a garage sale that you're like driving by and you're like, no, I shouldn't stop. And then you're like, I really feel like I should. And then you like look at the clock and it's like 11:11 and you're like, okay, yeah, I definitely should go. Something like that. And then you like run into this person there and just like hit it off. Maybe you're like reaching for the same thing at the garage sale or something, and you start talking about your shared love of like collecting this, odds and ends, or antique something, or books, or whatever it is. So that's a very specific example. It's probably not going to resonate for everybody, but kind of that feeling is what's coming through. So, and then I do just have to point out with these flamingos in this card, it could be that some of you are meeting somewhere where there are flamingos like depicted on the wall, or maybe could even be like at a zoo or something like that. So just like kind of or even like a botanic garden I'm getting to with this sort of picture. So, all right, guys, I think I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for listening and viewing this reading. I hope that it brought you some clarity and inspiration, and I'm really excited for you guys. I think this is really going to be beautiful. Also, I just saw angel numbers, so I saw 1, 44, 41. So yeah, definitely there's quite a bit of like signs and synchronicities coming through in this pile. So really beautiful messages. All right, so thank you so much. I hope to see you again in a future reading. Definitely subscribe, like, comment. All of that definitely helps to support the channel and enable me to keep doing these free readings. So thank you so much for all of you that have already done that. And I can't wait to see you all again in a future reading. All right, bye, Pile 4. Take care.